Hey guys, UVP oGCDP here. Okay, so here's a little bit of a video to kind of update you on what's happening with the sub issues for oGCDP in this term. So I actually made a little bit of a video already to kind of go through the presentation, the session I had at SNC. It's linked here. It's like background data and more information about like how this came into being and how we decided to work with 3 sub issues instead of 4 for oGCDP, and why is it that we're kind of like emphasizing the evolution of country partnerships, and that combining that with sub issue focus to really drive a very targeted, very specific strategy for not only just raising but also matching, and also just better realization for EPs in oGCDP in this term. So here's the link to the video. I will link it in this video as well, but check it out. It's on my YouTube page for Kim Q if you want to check that. There's a lot of OGX videos there as well that are helpful. Okay, so in terms of introducing new sub-issues, there are 3, and I think I'll go into more information about like what each means, but I think a lot of the times when people hear sub-issues, they're like, what does that mean? So the difference between oGCDP and oGIP is that in oGIP, it's very like JDs. The JDs are very focused, and it's easier to kind of like group them into sub-products. But with sub-issues, there are a lot of different sub-issues. So I decided to kind of group them for our customers to be able to better understand in these pillars. So the first one is youth empowerment, and that covers the topics of bilingual and cross-cultural education, social work, literacy, and youth education. And the second one is social entrepreneurship. That's event management, project management, organizational management and planning, advertising and PR. And then last one is environmental awareness, environmental conservation, environmental education, marine protection, and e-waste management. So it doesn't mean that there won't be any other projects. There might be specific, like targeted ones, special ones for health and health as well. But these are the 4 that has the most internships right now, as well as we have strong connections to internal partnerships, as well as EP eagerness to want to go and do these projects. Alright, so first, youth empowerment. So youth empowerment is, who is it for, right? It's for students who are passionate about solving social issues while helping to develop the welfare of children around the world. They really believe that like children are the future, and then developing the infrastructure necessary to kind of like allow these kids to grow and really make the world that they live in better. And why is this cool for our customers, our EPs, right? So it's cool for our customers in that it provides them with direct understanding and interaction with issues in global youth empowerment, and that's a really big deal when you consider that like more than like half the world's population will be younger than I think 28 or something like that in the coming years. So I have an NSC manager for that. Her name is Margaret. And the countries that you'll be working with here. And okay, and so don't freak out right now. This is one of the bigger changes. What I mean when I say there is an evolution to entity partnerships. So before, there are 8 entity partners, and you just kind of work with all 8, right? And some LCs can't work with countries like Colombia because it's on the travel warning list, and so it really limits you. So with this year, I worked to develop very specific targeted projects within each of the individual sub-issue in the country. So think Shape Colombia, so like going along the lines of Shape Colombia, which is education, teaching internships in Colombia for GIP. I'm working with very similar ideas in GCDP, so very targeted, specific projects like in Poland there is the AIESEC Universe project, right, where you're teaching English and English to students, and then like there's multitude of other things that are going to be presented in these countries. And so I've already confirmed all the partnerships, so look forward to videos coming up for each individual country and what project and what sub-issue that falls under. So what I want to do with this is so that LCs can choose which country they're going to work with by choosing what project will be the most appealing to their EPs, and also just the most familiar to EPs at the same time, so that you're setting the right expectations, better expectations, not necessarily the right one, but better expectations from the start in the kind of job description and the kind of environment and like things that an EP should expect, right? So like instead of just saying that, hey, go abroad through AIESEC, maybe to I know some countries say that, some LCs say that, or even go abroad through AIESEC through GCDP in Colombia. What does that mean? Like, what are they doing? Where are they going to be living? And so now we can say that, like, in Colombia, these are the 5-6 LCs that we're going to be working with, and these are the conditions exactly. Here's the job description that you'll be working with. Obviously, EPs still need to be flexible because they're working with nonprofit and small organizations, and that's the way that these organizations are structured. It's more fluid and it's more dynamic, and so EPs need to be prepared for that. But now, you can set better expectations. I know I went a little bit on a rant, but I kind of want you guys to understand that, like, this is what I mean when I say the evolution of sub-issues and the evolution of utilizing our entity partners and really understanding the projects and setting better expectations, in general. So these are the countries that you can choose from for youth empowerment. And then there's social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship is to attract students who are interested in working with or for or starting their own nonprofit or social enterprise in the future. And they can do this by strengthening and developing the skills they learn through their universities by practice, right, through practice. And NSC member responsible for this is often. So countries here are Panama, Romania, mainland China, Mauritius, India, and Argentina. Don't freak out about India. I'm working with a very special project to create a special entrepreneurship project. So we naturally have a lot of people going to India every year, despite maybe the bad kind of reputation that it has. But now I've set very clear expectations with MC, and also with this we can funnel our EPs into a project that will really be valuable for their time and really fit their job description and what they want. And then lastly is environmental awareness. This is to attract students who are passionate about the issues of environmental degradation around the world, and also it allows our EPs to really see and then really get a hands-on perspective and help global communities understand the impact of environmental damage. Often it's also NSC responsible for this, and it's Malaysia, Colombia, Brazil, and Indonesia. It's a smaller sub-issue that we're working with, but there's still some really cool things here. Alright, so with the oGCDP flow, so I know some of you guys are asking what the oGCDP flow will be for the winter. So currently until October 22nd, when myAIESEC.net shuts down, the flow will be this, and this is actually, wrong thing, sorry. And the flow will be this, and this is actually what's in the newsletter that we sent out this weekend, that Laura sent out this weekend. So this is the flow. First is the connect. There's 4 major areas or major phases in the flow. First is for the student to connect with us, and then there's the searching process, and then there's the matching and the go. So with the way that GIS is supposed to be implemented, and when it is implemented, the connection is very important. The search process won't take as long, and then we can more quickly get to the match and go process, and this is where the evolution really is in our job description, because we will really have to work hard at servicing our EPs and making sure they have a good experience, because before, like, I think for the last few years, we've made the process into the experience, right? We've made the process for an EP to get to an internship into the actual experience, and that's not what we're selling to them, and that's not what they want, that's not what they need, and it's not what we want to give them. And so we want to focus more on the servicing part and on how to get them to go abroad and experience an impactful, life-changing 6 to 12 weeks or so. So connection. So I'm not going to read through this. You can read this, but I wanted to make a clarification on the flow where it's different. So this is all the same. Lots of focus is on not just physical but virtual engagement, getting them funneled into our website so they can get all the information all in one place, so they can find the application and actually fill out the application. And that's the Podio application. You can find that on the back end of the Outgoing Exchange app. It's an app on the Outgoing Exchange space on Podio. But here's where it's different. It's once myAIESEC.net dies, this process will no longer be here. So the raise fee is now the application fee. So the EPs will still pay the $150 application fee when they decide, after they get accepted and they're like, okay, cool, I'm doing this, and they pay the $150 application fee. And so there won't be a raise process because they don't need to be registered at myIESEC.net, or and you can register them on AIESEC Online in the back end to get the funding, to get the raise fee, but they won't need to do myIESEC.net. So it's more of like an application fee, and the AIESEConline.net is our payment portal. So this will be gone here instead. What you will tell your EP is once they're accepted to an internship, they will be able to be they will get to look through our job descriptions. But you remember what I said, there is an evolution in the job description, so it's not going to be all one freaking like million internship on myIESEC.net. Now it's going to be very specific. Here are the projects that you can do in these countries, because that's what they've been told from the very start, and this is what they're expecting, and there won't be like hesitations. Obviously, if they have EPs who are interested in something else, you know there is a project that matches what they want, you can tell, like, you can offer that to them instead. But we want to like funnel people through very like the projects that we're selling, because it's easier to manage that way, and we can get more customized approaches. If you want more information about co-delivery and how we plan on kind of working with these country partners to deliver better experiences, check the co-delivery video I have on YouTube. But yeah, so like the difference is there's no longer a raising process, and also with the search, it's not as much, it's not so much the EP going on myIESEC and looking at all the different websites. Now they look at different TN forums. Now they're looking at the different projects that your LC chooses and kind of promotes, and also just kind of maybe fill out a questionnaire about any additional project they want to do. But and then like having things more or less assigned to them. And so we can get through that process quicker, so that we can get to the like interview process, because I think that's something that we forget. And I think this is one of the parts where an EP gets very discouraged, is if they don't realize that they have to interview with us, they have to get raised, they pay, and then they have to search for an internship, and then they have to apply for the internship, and then they get to the matching process. By the time they get to the matching process, they're like, screw it, I just want to go abroad, or screw it, I don't want to do this at all. And so I mean, this is where a lot of our problems come from, right? So yeah, so like we can get through to match process faster, so we can get all the paperwork out of the way. We can prepare them with one-on-one preparation, outgoing preparation seminar, as well as like with logistics prep, all that stuff, so they can go abroad and have that life-changing experience. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Check through the other video on YouTube. There's plenty, and I think they're helpful. Call me if you need anything. Email me. Talk to you guys later.